you can't automate relationships.
Yeah.
You
exactly.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't. And that's
I
what
agree.
so many of these online platforms do.
Welcome back, Strategic Selling Group members, all my other followers. Great to have you on board again, and I'm delighted to bring Joanne Black back to you. Welcome, Joanne.
Thanks, John.
Hey, Joanne, with all these discussions, you made a comment offline that made me think a little bit. You said, don't ask for referrals or don't manage referrals using a digital format. Now, there's a lot of things happen in social media there with social selling and everything else, and it sounded a bit counterintuitive because a lot of those platforms do promote the fact that you can use their platform to get a referral. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's nonsense, and here's why. I agree with you. I'm very, very active on social media, as are you.
Absolutely. It's a great platform for me. I can communicate, I can build a following, I can get content out there that I think's of value, like this here.
Yes.
It's a great platform for growing an audience and putting value out there to your audience.
Absolutely. You find mutual connections, you learn about people. I read what people have written to give me a nice profile of who they are and what their point of view is.
In fact, that's how we met, right? We originally met on social media.
That's right. I've met a lot of people on social media. I've traveled the world and actually met people in person. And here's what happened. It was like we were old friends. It was hugs all around like that. It's perfect. It's a place to really begin a conversation and begin a relationship. But here's what happens. Now, LinkedIn gives us the opportunity to ask for a referral.
They have a methodology where you say, hey, Joanne, I see you're connected with this person. Can you send a note to that person via their mechanism to say, hey, John Smybert would like to talk with you?
And several things are wrong with that. The first is that people have told me they're pissed off, their term, when people ask for a referral on social. Because they're saying that person really thinks that I'm going to make the introduction. And remember, referrals are very, very personal.
They are.
Right? So if I refer you, John, I need to know that you'll take care of my connection just as I would. So that's number one. Now, some people say they're very effective doing that. And when I say, if what you're doing is working, keep doing it. But don't ask me for a referral on LinkedIn because I won't do it. But here's the big reason. First of all, you don't know what the connection is. You don't know how well they know the person, right? Or if they know them at all.
Yeah, well, I somehow ended up with 8,000 connections on LinkedIn, and certainly I've communicated with everyone with a message or two.
Yes.
But do I know them? I probably know well only about 300 or 400 of those.
That's a lot.
And yet I get people asking me all the time, can you refer me to Bill Jones? Yeah, I've had a couple of messages back and forward to Bill. No, I don't know him. And you're right. How do I know that you two are going to be of value to each other? Why would I put you together?
That's right. So here's what I do. If I see you're connected, John, to someone I want to meet, I will email you first and I'll say, John, I'd like to meet Sue David. How well do you know Sue? And you say, oh my gosh, she's a next door neighbor. We grew up together. I know her really well. Or you may say, I don't know her at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I want to find that out first. In fact, one time I was traveling and there were a couple people I wanted to know in the city I was going to. The business partner of someone I knew was connected. So I reached out to the person I knew and said, would you make an introduction to Steve? Because I had met him. He said, sure, I'll be glad to do that, but Steve accepts every LinkedIn invitation. He probably won't know who that person is. In my conversation with Steve, he said, I don't know that person, Joanne, but tell me who you're looking for. He made another referral. But here's what we have to do. We introduce people because there's a valid business reason for the introduction. I'm going to introduce you because you're a nice guy, right?
Oh, I agree.
But that's not a business reason.
The last thing I want to refer somebody to somebody else where they're not going to create any value for this. All I'm going to do is destroy the level of trust I've got in the person I'm referring to.
That's right. but I need the business reason. I need to know why you want to speak to that person. What will that person get? What are the results that you typically deliver that would address one of her challenges? That's what I need to communicate to the person I'm introducing you to.
Right.
Because that's the reason they'll take the meeting.
So what you're saying is there's a real process to manage the referral, and it requires a lot of personal interactions. It's not, hey, you're connected, put me through.
That's right.
It's really a process you have to think to, and you only will ask for a referral and expect a referral when all those bits hang together. And you
Yeah.
can't do that by saying, oh, they're connected, put me through.
I've looked at a lot of referral software because people have asked me to review it. I'm done
Yeah.
because they're all digital. And my point of view is you can't automate relationships.
Yeah.
You
exactly.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't. And that's
I
what
agree.
so many of these online platforms do. Now, are some of them successful? Yes.
A platform like LinkedIn, I love. I've got to say, it does enable me to really get to know a lot of people. I build relationships like the one I built
Right.
with you, and so on. So it's very valuable from that point of view. But I do agree. I hate that referral system in LinkedIn. It does not do anybody any good, in my experience. So you need to make a referral a process you go through that is personal and really researched properly.
Yes.
LinkedIn will help with that,
Absolutely.
right? But it's a process you go through.
That's right.
Joanne, thank you very much. I'm understanding this referral selling much better now, and I think hopefully the audience, through the series of discussions we've had, will be getting their mind around it as well. Very, very interesting subject and very valuable for all of us. Thank you.
You're welcome.